Imagine a raven standing in front of a box. Inside the box is food. The raven can see it, it can smell it, but the lid will not open. At first it looks simple. A bird wants food, a box blocks the food. So the bird pecks, pulls, and tries to force it open. But then something strange happens. The raven stops, it looks around. It notices a small object nearby. It picks it up. It carries it back to the box. And instead of attacking the box, it uses the object like a key. That moment is why ravens feel almost mysterious. Because the real question is not, can ravens get food? Many animals can do that. The real question is, how does a bird look at a problem and seem to understand that one thing can become a solution to another thing? To understand why, we need to go deeper. Problem solving is not just one skill. It is a mix of many smaller abilities working together. A raven has to notice details. It has to remember what happened before. It has to control its impulses. It has to try a new action when an old action fails. And sometimes it has to think about what might happen later. That is already impressive. Because in nature, most problems do not come with instructions. There is no sign that says, use this tool. No teacher saying, step 1, step 2, step 3, no easy answer. A raven lives in a world full of locked boxes, a hidden piece of food, a dangerous animal nearby, another raven watching. A meal that is too big to open alone. A chance that might disappear in a few seconds. And every day its brain has to ask, what can I do with what is around me? One reason ravens are so good at this is that they are flexible. Some animals are excellent at one special behavior, they repeat it beautifully. But when the situation changes, they get stuck. Ravens are different. They can test, they can adjust, they can switch strategies. In some experiments, ravens have shown the ability to choose an object that would help them get a reward later. Not right now, later. That is important, because choosing a future tool means the raven is not only reacting to what it sees. It may be holding a future situation in its mind. It is almost like the bird is saying, I do not need this object now, but I might need it soon. And that is where problem solving becomes something deeper than trial and error. Trial and error is when an animal keeps trying random things until something works. But flexible planning is different. It means the animal can pause, select, wait, and use the right action at the right time. For a raven, that can be the difference between eating and losing the meal. But here is the strange part. Raven intelligence is not only about objects, it is also about other minds. A raven does not live alone in a simple world, it lives around other ravens. And other ravens are not just background noise, they are competitors, thieves, partners, witnesses. This matters most when ravens hide food. A raven may find more food than it can eat, so it stores some for later. It hides the food in a secret place. But if another raven sees the hiding spot, the secret is gone. Now the problem is not a box. The problem is another brain. So the raven has to think about questions like, who was watching? Could they see where I hid it? Will they steal it after I leave? Should I move it somewhere else? At first it looks simple, a bird hides food. But underneath that simple action is memory, attention, and social strategy. Some ravens will re-hide food if they think another raven has seen the location. They may choose safer places. They may wait until the watcher leaves. They may act differently depending on the situation. And this is where it gets even more surprising. A raven's problem is not always, how do I get food? Sometimes the problem is, how do I keep food away from someone just as smart as me? That kind of life can shape a powerful mind. Because if your neighbors are clever thieves, you cannot survive by being careless. You need memory, you need timing, you need patience. You need social awareness. In a way, every other raven becomes a puzzle. And every stolen meal becomes a lesson. This may be one reason ravens seem so sharp. Their intelligence did not evolve in a classroom. It evolved in forests, mountains, cliffs, and snowy landscapes where food is precious and mistakes are expensive. A raven that remembers where food is hidden has an advantage. A raven that notices who is watching has an advantage. A raven that waits instead of grabbing too soon has an advantage. A raven that can solve a new problem has an advantage. Over many generations, these small advantages matter, but we have to be careful. Ravens are not tiny humans wearing feathers. They are not solving problems because they want to impress us. They are not trying to pass a human IQ test. They do not need to write books, build cities, or speak English to be intelligent. They are intelligent in a raven way. Their minds are shaped for a world of food, danger, memory, movement, and social competition. A human might look at a locked box and think about tools. A raven might look at a forest and think about hidden food, watching eyes, future hunger, and escape routes. Different worlds create different minds. The real question is not whether animals are smart. The real question is how many forms of intelligence we have failed to notice. Because intelligence does not always look like a person doing math. Sometimes it looks like a black bird waiting quietly on a branch, watching, remembering, planning. Which brings us back to the raven in front of the box. At the beginning, it looked like a bird trying to get a treat. But now that scene feels different. The raven is not just pecking at the world, it is studying it. It is asking in its own way, what is useful here, what has worked before, what might happen next, who else knows what I know. The next time you see a raven, do not only notice the dark feathers or the sharp beak, notice the pause. That quiet second before it acts. Because inside that pause there may be memory, there may be patience, there may be a plan, it may not think like you. But it may be thinking in a way that is perfect for its world. Subscribe to Tony Explains Animals to discover how animals think, feel, learn, and survive in ways that may surprise you.